In 2020, I, along with the South Holland Village trustees, signed a proclamation recognizing the importance of June 19th as Juneteenth Independence Day. Thankfully, the next year, it was declared a federal holiday. Along with the celebration, Juneteenth comes with an acknowledgement of the inequities and the biases that have existed over the years in our country. We, in our own small part as a village, have an opportunity to stand up for what's right.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. called racism an idolatry, a false kind of faith. This faith has grown like a weed in our country, at times threatening to choke out the promises of liberty and justice for all.
Juneteenth is a celebration of the date that the last enslaved African Americans were set free, the day that good news was finally spoken in the last stronghold of slavery in America, June 19, 1865.
Churches started celebrating Juneteenth the very next year, 1866. These church-centered celebrations poured over into the communities as black and white citizens were finally able to celebrate freedom and independence together.
Juneteenth is a recognition that it took a while for our country to make good on its recognition that all men and women are created equal.
Juneteenth is also a recognition that there is still much work to be done.
In the last few years, we've seen just how deep the roots of the weed of racism still reach into the soil of hearts and institutions.
In the last few years, we've seen how the weed of systemic racism still threatens to choke out the good plants of human dignity, rights, and safety.
Juneteenth is a celebration and a challenge. It's a time to rejoice, but also a time to hear the call of Isaiah 58, which calls us to
loose the chains of injustice,
untie the cords of the yoke,
set the oppressed free,
and break every chain.
South Holland is a community that's unified around the ideas of faith, family, and future. We remain committed and dedicated to seeing that unity is expressed.
In working together for fairness.
In partnering for justice.
In celebrating diversity.
In recognizing human dignity.
In caring for our neighborhoods.
In expressing the love of Christ to all.
To all.
To all.
To all.
As a village.
And as churches.
As citizens.
And as a people of faith.
We are so ready to celebrate Juneteenth. We are ready to celebrate freedom and civil rights for all, not just some. We're ready to build for the future by learning from the past.
Juneteenth is about recognizing the beauty of God's image in every person, no exceptions.
Juneteenth is about continuing the fight for civil rights, to pull up the weeds of hatred and oppression wherever we find them.
And continue planting seeds of liberty, unity, and compassion.
Juneteenth is a reminder that this is hard work, but Isaiah 58 ends with a promise to those who work for justice.
If you spend yourselves on behalf of the hungry
and satisfy the needs of the oppressed,
the Lord will guide you always
and satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land.
You will be like a well-watered garden,
like a spring whose waters never fail.
You will be called repairer of broken walls
and restorer of safe streets.
Happy Juneteenth, South Holland.